Despite never becoming a made man, Ralph Spero was in a difficult situation as Shorty's brother. To avoid any potential conflicts, I decided to sell the joint and move on. I preferred to handle shady people discreetly and only resorted to violence when absolutely necessary. When I asked Jimmy Brazier to help find a buyer for the store, he was shocked at my decision. But I knew it was the right move, especially with Tommy's father involved in sketchy activities. Although Debbie disagreed with my choice, accusing me of shying away from a legitimate life, I stood firm in my decision to distance myself from any criminal association. Amidst the shadows of the underworld, I whispered secrets of Ralph's treachery to her. Our clandestine affair with Shorty remained unspoken, a forbidden realm kept far from her knowledge. He'll deny his misdeeds, leaving me trapped, I declared, my frustration palpable. I'm severing ties, no looking back. To Tommy and Ralph, I delivered an ultimatum. Their feeble attempts to salvage our partnership proved futile. My connections outshone theirs, and I yearned for freedom. I'm a man of the streets, not a peddler of denim. Let's bid this charade farewell. However, the echoes of our broken alliance lingered. Ralph Spero's whispers reached Shorty, igniting a simmering discontent. Junior Persico's favoritism toward me over Tommy was a thorn in their side. Shorty, bound by familial duty, had to address the matter. Fate intervened when tragedy struck. Ralph Ronga, a trusted member of Shorty's crew, fell victim to an armed robbery gone awry. He faced down 4 armed cops. I said, admiration coloring my voice. They demanded surrender, but he stood his ground. The bullets tore into him, but he fought back valiantly. A week after Ronga's burial, I found myself in a dimly lit tavern surrounded by Rizzo, Malaiti, and Kumo. As I entered, a striking blonde caught my eye at the far end of the bar, her presence a beacon in the smoky haze. While hanging out with the guys, one of them pointed out a blonde woman who seemed interested in me as her date was away. Intrigued, I approached her, only to realize she was Ralphie's wife. Shocked, I confronted her for attempting to make advances while her husband was still alive. She offered to get rid of her date to be with me, but I was furious and kicked them both out. Later, I found out that Ralph accused me of hitting on his wife and threatening to harm me. I challenged him to confront me, but he backed out and said his friend would handle it. I was ready to confront Junior immediately, but he refused to meet with me and hung up the phone. Determined, I jumped in my car with my gun at the ready, planning to exact my revenge. However, when I arrived at his house, his wife informed me that he had already left. Despite my anger, I kept my composure in front of her, knowing she was like a mother to me. The next day, Shorty called for me to meet him on Cropsey Avenue. Despite warnings from others about a potentially dangerous situation, I insisted on going. Old man Rizzo's insisted on accompanying me, offering to vouch for the truth of what happened. When we arrived, Shorty questioned me about the situation, insinuating that I had tried to cause trouble with Ralphie's wife. I denied the accusation, recounting the events truthfully. Rizzo corroborated my story, confirming that I was innocent. Shorty, realizing the truth, expressed frustration with his brother and the envy he harbored toward me due to Junior's favoritism. In a hushed murmur, Shorty lamented his predicament. I'm trapped in a labyrinthine maze with no escape. Ralph's relentless pursuit of Sammy's demise threatens to spill blood, and if Sammy prevails, I'll be forced to avenge his brother. John, do you believe your Gambino clan might extend sanctuary to Sammy? Though our blood flows through different veins, we could maintain our bond, shielding my sibling and cousin from this deadly dance. John pondered, I shall raise this plea to Tato. His admiration for Sammy knows no bounds. Tato, the enigmatic Salvatore Arello, commanded John Rizzo's loyalty. Meanwhile, Shorty sought allies within his own ranks. Junior, once incarcerated, remained the shadowy figurehead, his influence still casting a long shadow over Carroll Street. Alley Boy Persico, Shorty's brother, confided in him, "To end this conflict, we must eliminate your brother and nephew. It weighs heavily on our hearts, but for the sake of our kinship, we cannot. We grant you an honorable release from the Colombo family. Our friendship shall endure." Toto's message found its way to the revered Carlo Gambino, and I was formally inducted into his Gambino empire. A sense of unease gnawed at me. I held a genuine affection for Shorty, and this treacherous maneuvering laid bare the true nature of our criminal fraternity. In a cruel twist of fate, Ralph and Tommy groveled before me, their former animosity replaced by obsequious apologies. "Your next call to my wife with such disrespect will be your last act," I warned Ralph, my voice steeling. Amidst the turmoil, a glimmer of solace came in my alliance with Toto Arello. His wisdom and integrity mirrored that of the venerable Zavito, who had once safeguarded my father from the clutches of extortionists.